What? No, I would never tell you to read Tsukihime. That doesn't sound like something I would do. Rare canonical music being played on the pre-stream here. They announced that they were doing a card game in PSO2. It's not the same as Card Revolution, like it almost kind of feels a little bit like Marvel Snap, a little bit like Gwent, maybe. It's weird. As somebody who doesn't really get into, like, CCGs or anything like that, kind of want them to just fix the rest of PSO2, if I'm being honest. It has been 3 years, I think, since they did NGS. And it still feels like it's release day NGS, it's just there's more areas. Like, imagine if FF14, after they did the 1.0 Realm Reborn release, or 2.0 Realm Reborn release, after they did that, then they just did nothing for 3 years. Like, they just added a couple of new areas. But unfortunately, it's still the same game that you played in 2021. Anyways. We're here to play some Aria. We're here to play Tsukihime. You should play Tsukihime. The contract needs to be fulfilled. Let me just confirm I actually set up... Okay, good. I was going to say... I wasn't sure if I set up my my stream title correctly, because I messed that up a few days ago. And the problem is, if you don't have the right title, if you change it mid-stream, it still keeps the original title, so one of my old streams has the wrong title. Are we going to capture? No, because they're pointing at a different game. That's why it's not capturing. Might as well boot up LiveSplit. I also remembered to launch VideoTube this time. Rather than remembering halfway through, oh right, it's an Aria stream, I could do the Soma thing. I can't believe this game is only 11 years away. Oh, I'm shrinking. I'm messing up my window. Alright, let me just make sure. Alright. Hotkeys work. I can time myself. Oh, also, actually, let me get my monster finder before we get started here. So I always forget to boot that up, and I always forget what the descriptions are. Because I don't play the Rando super often these days. I still love it, it's just, it's not like an everyday thing. There was one time where I was just running like 1 or 2 seeds a day. That's too much for your body. Everything in moderation. Alright. Let me get my windows in a better spot here. And then we'll play some Rando. This is the old style randomizer, so this one has wizard mode and all that enabled. It also is generally a little more swingy than the other rando, just because, I don't know, the other one just felt like it took a lot longer. Like, it was a lot closer to vanilla, which is fine if that's what you want, but I like a little bit of spiciness here and there, you know? Wizard. I don't remember how to spell it. The Aquatine Hunger Force is like YYZZERDDD, something like that. Alright, let's game. The other thing with this rando is it all starts you off with Wing Skeleton. Whereas the other one gives you a random starting soul, which is usually not great. As it turns out, Wing Skeleton is actually just a really solid soul for the early game. Gonna kill stub, hope for the Cleave Salish jackpot. Mudman. Damn. I was hoping for the room 1 Black Panther. Because the last few times I ran this on the other randomizer, I got Black Panther pretty late. Actually, I'm not that concerned about the melon on the way back. We can grab that later. Looks like it might storm outside, so I'm not sure. Hopefully it's not going to knock out my power, but we'll see. Ooh, gamer. Okay, you know what? No room 1 Cleave Salish, but Muramasa as the first weapon pickup? Yes, please. Absolutely. Could easily take this all the way to endgame if I need to. I feel like the game is a little quiet. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. I'm going to take a time penalty. Just because it does feel really quiet, like more quiet than normal. Oh, you know what it was? I think I was running something else on BizHawk. We take Cursed Steel that has absolutely no drawbacks. In most games, we'd be like, ah, it's a cursed sword, it does a lot of damage, but then it hurts you as well. This one is just, no, it just kills everything. It is the best katana in the game. What does katana mean? It means Japanese sword. That's true, I'm only touching the hilt. Also, the curse effect is going to be really nice because a lot of enemies are going to be weak to that early on. I also like a Black Belt. Black Belt is fantastic for multi-hit weapons like the Muramasa. I will probably trade it out if I get like a... what's it called? A Wooden Golem Soul. Or the Rune Ring, I should say. Actually, let me throw on my flying armor because I'm going to need that soon. Keeping Eye. I think it is slightly faster to do the sleep trick here as well. Because I don't have Black Panther, so I'm not going... I don't have the zoomies. Still using my casual clothing for armor, but we'll be fine. I just have to be nice and kill everything in one shot, which the Muramasa will do really easily. If I, you know, if I hit them. You have to hit the enemies. You gotta hit the enemies, Soma. It's free curses, but you gotta stab them. The curse only gets in through the stab wound. Lubricant. Not that I have anything else worth using right now, so sure, why not? Grunting. Actually would be a really nice get if I didn't already have Muramasa. His fronting has a ridiculous hitbox. It's huge. Milk! Skeleton milk, yum. I love not thinking about where skeleton milk comes from. Okay, that's a Sherman ring, and you gotta be a Black Panther. Doesn't actually have to be, but I really wanted to make that called shot, and oh boy, did I make that called shot. Let's fucking go. There's Malphus. Alright, we got the zoomies. We're zooping around. We got the Gradius, we got the double jumps, we got zoomies. Not even gonna bother getting the Sherman ring, it's not worth it. Yeah, this is a really nice start to a seed, actually. Muramasa and Black Panther. Pretty effing good. Actually, I need to just be zooming, honestly. Like, armor is the only thing I really want right now, at this point. Ooh, Golem Soul's good. Golem Soul's fantastic, actually. This is a pretty nice seed. Merman. Merman. Oh, I'm still taking full damage from everything, though, which is a little bit of a bummer. Let me just save, because I think that golem was a random drop, so in the event that I die, which shouldn't happen this early on, I'll be able to recover. Do some checks, gamers. Ooh. Health and Robe is a perfectly fine piece of armor. I will not complain about that. Alright, I gotta focus on just going for speed, because a lot of times I'll just hit enemies, like I'll fight them that I don't really need to. Of course, it helps if I actually go through the intended progression instead of running into walls. A lot of crappy weapons, that's fine, we can sell them. Because we're good. We're good for weapons. Also, our mobility is pretty good right now. We'll be able to go to the ceiling immediately. Finish off Cathedral, finish off Study. No return trips is always nice. Getting some nice healing items, too. I'll be able to... Might be able to skip having to go back and restock before the Chaos fight. Valkyrie. Here we just swing. I think, yeah, this one's actually vulnerable to the curse effect. I love that. Also, I think I can do a little trick here, because I believe there's no enemies until you actually change rooms. So we can actually just skip all the gargoyles entirely, not even have to get hurt by them. The Whip Knuckle. Just go right down to Study, actually. Iron Golem would also be a really nice soul, but I would lose some damage from the regular Golem soul. Iron Golem makes it so you don't get knocked back when you get hit, you just get super armor permanently. It's quite nice. Fatigues. That'll be sold, I think, if I mean, I probably will have to go to Hammer, because sometimes he does have the books. Like, they don't cost anything, you just have to select them from the store, but sometimes they can be put into his inventory, so... Alright, there's Undine. I'm glad I decided not to opt for, like, really early garden, because it is possible. Like, I think as soon as you have double jump, you can do it, but I figured I'll just go down this way instead. Oh, jeez. Tapping it doesn't make the box push faster, I just do it for fun. Nothing else to do during that sequence anyways. Yellow Soul. Not really useful because I already have Golem, but it could be nice. We might need it for the true ending. Oh, my MP, no. My MIP. Just gonna push through and get to the save point so I can basically cleanse the curse. I'm gonna risk not saving. Oh boy, more casual clothing. A nice casual full-body fur coat for a high school student. Look, it's 2035, fashion's probably different. I don't slide. Not that I can pick that up. We'll take more milk. The ectoplasms are kind of the one thing you do really want to avoid. Oh hey, there's slide. I think the steel armor, I think that's either steel or silver armor. I think it is stronger defensively a little bit than the elfin robe, but this one also gives me a lot of intelligence. And since I'm using the intelligence fix, like the patch for it, it actually is useful now. Because by default, intelligence in Aria of Sorrow is a useless, not a useless, but a nearly useless stat. I do have to be careful though. Fear of Blood. I think it gives me a little more defense. Yeah, I'll take that over the Black Belt. We already have the Golem Soul anyway, so we're doing plenty of damage. Golem Soul, Muramasa, big number. Muramasa damage is percentage based when the effect goes off anyway, so it's not so much about how much damage you deal. Although it does do a lot of damage. I think it is the highest damage katana in the game. Unless you consider Cleave Celicia katana because it does swing in the same way, like it's got the same arc. It's got the exact same properties. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't see Miyamoto Musashi pulling out the Cleave Celicia. The Gaelic blade of light, you know? How? Unless you're playing Fate, then anybody can pull that shit out. Fate is a very accurate representation of history. It's the first thing you need to understand about Fate. We're gonna cap on milk at this rate. Some cruise full of potato pancakes and milk. My man has the strongest bones of all time. Can I hit this? I think Ghost can hit. Yeah, there we go. I think Ghost is kind of random, so I got a little lucky there. Sometimes it just targets weird things or just goes in a weird direction. Alright, let's see if Hammer has anything. The nice thing is with Slide, we can actually go directly between the Servants' Quarters and Dance Hall. I'm gonna say, should I go bother picking that up? I don't think I really need to. Right, Gladius, Fronting, Scimitar, Kunitsuna, that can go. Muramasa, that is absolutely not being sold. Casual clothes, those can go. Hang on to the rest. Alright, what do you got? Pudding. Tap that out, I guess. Balmung. Ooh, Rune Ring. Might actually switch over to Valkyrie. Because between Wizard Mode and Rune Ring, we got some real fast MP regen now. I also want to check the ceiling here real quick. We can actually do it with Kicker Skeleton too, I believe. Be careful not to pop the torch there. Oh, jeez. Chaos Ring is in the pool, but it's very uncommon. Like, it is awaited to appear much less frequently. Any of the hard mode exclusive weapons and Cleave Salish as well. I think like Cleave Salish, Blocking Mail, any of the hard mode exclusive weapons, and Chaos Ring and Soul Eater Ring, I believe those are all weighted to appear much less frequently. Which makes sense. Not even gonna bother getting that. Don't need the gym uniform, we got plenty of good armor. I mean, we have the Elfin Robe, which is like borderline endgame. Ooh. I say borderline endgame, but on the flip side, Dracula Tunic. Yes, please. That's really lucky to just get off a random drop, hot damn. Freaking skull. I do at least want to get a kill on most enemies just for adding them to my, like, records. Actually, no, I don't need to have them in my records, because I can just look up the text on the website. Someday I'll memorize it all. Backdash. Ugh. Always so awkward to navigate. But yeah, like getting Positron Rifle regularly would be kind of silly. Now Muramasa, on the other hand, that's completely balanced. There's nothing overpowered about that. It's actually not, like, that busted. Like, the curse effect is really strong, and it is the strongest katana, but at the same time, it's not like... It doesn't have the stupid hitbox and Holy Elemental that Cleave Salish does. It does require a little bit of skill. Oh, I'm one off a nice. Perish. Uchinoko Real. I had to kill him, he was there. Look at that MP regen, oh baby. We get the wooden golem soul, you can just use souls, not quite for free, but almost. Is death? Hello, death. So I think the Durgas are just dropping Dracula tunics randomly. I don't know if that's like their common drop or like the rare drop. Oh hey, a free re-ring. Not that there was too much else to spend money on. Like, none of the weapons would have really improved my situation. Ascalon maybe, or sorry, Balmung, but even then, like, it's... Muramasa's totally fine. Also, the Galmoth Soul is a really nice find there too, because that lets us immediately go check the room. This is a pretty nice seed. The old randomizer missed me, it wanted me to feel comfortable. I think I can also use Kicker Skeleton in this room too, if I remember correctly, to get into the ceiling. Yeah, I can kick out the thing there. Oh, I gotta do it better. Let's see, it's a lot easier if I just do that. Okay, not really worth it. But it's good to check that regardless. We don't ever have to come back here. The goal is to minimize backtracking. Sometimes you will be forced to do it, but right now we have a really nice setup, like we can clear out all these areas in one shot. And get more milk! Milk and coffee and tea. Soma is ready for breakfast. Later, nerd. Ooh. Guess who's here? I think Muramasa has like slightly higher DPS, assuming it's used perfectly, but on the flip side, like, Cleave's Leash is just so easy to use. It's also better against enemies with high defense, because Cleave's Leash has a higher base attack. Yeah, the old randomizer missed me. Probably dead in a few hits. Are you for real? Really? One hit? And a free grunting. Not even gonna bother with the orb, I'm just going. We got damage here. There really isn't any reason. Like, we're basically in go mode as far as equipment is concerned. We just need the souls. We need the souls, we need the books. Oh hey, free Escalon. Oh look, a free iPad! Alright, I should be using the sleep trick here. Even with Black Panther, this is faster, I believe. Big seeds. Don't have to bother with Undine there because I can just zhuzh through. Still get pinballed a little bit down here, but it's fine. I should probably grab that. So I don't have any of the books yet, so I don't know whether or not we are in go mode. We're probably not. And then we want to go back down to, yeah, I think we go to Floating Garden now. We do the route around Clock Tower. Because we can do the bonus room as well. We got slides, so that'll be a full clear on Clock Tower. Nice and easy. So Cleave's Leash lets you do this. It just covers the entire screen, basically. Which Muramasa cannot do. Muramasa is a very good weapon, but it cannot cover the entire screen like Cleave's Leash does. There's a reason that this is seeded to not appear as often, but that doesn't mean it won't appear. You don't actually need Undine to get up there, you can just wiggle around the corner. And the game will correct you up top. Like, to be fair, to actually get this sword in the game, you need to, like, solve kind of a tricky puzzle. Because there's the Forbidden Area, which has, like, little emblems on the back, showing souls of enemies that you may or may not already have. But the problem is that, oh, I can actually make this jump, can I? No. Problem is that you may or may not have those souls, but also you have to figure out how to use them correctly, because you need to use Undine to stand on the water, and then you need to use a transformation soul to get beyond the waterfall, because otherwise it just pushes you out. And your first time playing through the game, you may or may not pick up on that. But if you do figure it out, well, like, once you get it the first time, it's pretty trivial to do it every time. You just get a transformation soul every time. And then you're good to go. Yeah, then there's another, it's a secret within a secret. So that's also true. Most people would probably see the Joyous and be like, ah, my reward for being here, that's good. And then if they actually bother to crack open the wall, then they get the real treat. Because Joyous sells for a lot. Joyous is like, I want to say it's like 50k? That sounds correct. The platforming is bad. Yeah, that's a good bowl. Oh, I'm not ready to pass by that. There's one new item that appears here. I'm not going to bother going out of the way for that. We got a really good time. Let's keep this pace going. We do have to start finding some books, though, otherwise it's gonna be, basically a full 100% clear anyways. Also, I will save, it's been a little bit. I'm gonna take a sip of water as fast as possible. Oh, I don't actually have Skola. I just realized. I was gonna say I have slides so I can get into the slide rooms, but I don't actually have Sculla. So we're probably gonna get it pretty soon here because I don't have any way to get into top floor either. So I'm pretty sure we're either gonna get Sculla or Hippogriff or Giant Bat in here somewhere. Oh, nice. Random Manticore. Harpy. The chances of us having the souls we need when we find the books, though, are going to be pretty high. Just damage tank you. I got Dracula Tunic, I got Cleave Salish, we're fine. We're not even going to bother saving, it's death, he's easy. Phase 1. Manticore, please. Too high. Easy peasy. Log off on Steam, I'm getting notifications. Steam, I don't need you right now. I remember to do this earlier. Okay, there's Hippogriff. Because I was gonna say, we need something to traverse, otherwise we're gonna be locked in. And there's Giant Bat. Having Hippogriff is honestly better than Giant Bat, if I'm being honest. Giant Bat has, like... I think there's one check that you need Giant Bat for, but aside from that, it is just inferior to Hippogriff in every way. Drains the shit out of your MP, it's... You can't attack while you're doing it, like, you move slightly faster than walking, but that's about all it's got going for it. So we for sure don't have Sculla, okay. Probably gonna have to dip into top floor and then go back down to the... reservoir. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you know early in the game what the Giant Bat check is, so you know well ahead of time whether or not it's worth going back for it. Okay, yeah, it's gotta be top floor then. Because underwater is completely inaccessible right now. And we can't take the shortcut from Clock Tower out into, where's it even go to? Into top floor, because that's a one-way. Yeah, Giant Bat can attack, but, like, come on. Yeah, we're going top flow. Question is, if I find Sculla, I probably just immediately turn around and go down to Reservoir, because the chances of us getting all three books up here... Actually, no, we still need Sculla. Sculla is required for Go mode, because there's the room in the Chaos Dimension. That is, straight up requires it. Although here's where we start taking a lot of damage from contact on enemies, so we gotta be real careful. Especially because I'm probably very underleveled. Stat-wise, I have, you know, I got Cleave Salish, I got Dracula's Tunic, I got some really nice stuff, but in terms of actual just raw stats, I'm a little behind. Nice. Yeah, I haven't even been using Valkyrie. Oh, Vanilla Succubus. Interesting. The best possible outcome is getting the three books, like, right in these three checks, and then having, Sculla show up in the Chaos Realm, but that's not happening, I think. We for sure have to go all the way back, but I might as well do these checks while I'm here. Great sword. Plus we can pop open the shortcut to Clock Tower. We can go to the secret area there. Alright. So we're definitely going down to Reservoir because Clock Tower cannot have more than the bonus room. It's only going to be 2 checks. So even best case scenario, assuming both of them are books, we're still going to have to go down to Reservoir. But we might as well stop off on the way. Actually. You can hit multiple times with Muramasa. Smash the wall a lot faster. Can I one-shot both of the Harpy types? I can. Yeah, I wanted to do this earlier, but we didn't have Sculla. Yeah, what's good 9-gay moves? Actually kind of tempted to just use Succubus, because it's just a really solid soul for sustaining yourself. And like, we don't really need an extra, you know, 12 strength when we've got Cleave Salish. When we got the good shit. Maybe when I fight Julius, but even then, we've got the transformation, we got Manticore. We got lots of power. Power. Okay. All the books are underwater then. Somebody got real mad at books and flushed them all down the toilet. That's the lore explanation for why they're all down there. I was watching the ReFantazio trailer, or the showcase they did, I guess. It's basically like Fantasy Persona. It's like, you know, all the same directors and all that stuff. It's very funny that they actually do have an in-universe explanation for where the music comes from, because people were saying in Persona 3, all the music comes from the protagonist's headphones, which is why he's always wearing them, but in that game it's actually the fairy casting a music spell on you, which is why you hear music constantly. Diegetic music, you gotta love it. Feels good Hamlin prize. Probably not going to be like a PB or anything like that, but it'll be a pretty fast seed. The best seeds I've had, I got to skip this area entirely, but we're going to have to go down. Unfortunately. Oh, hey. I was just saying how hard mode items are less likely to show up, and then here's Excalibur. It's actually not very good. It's got a slow attack speed, like it's very strong in terms of like the raw number, but it cannot be jump canceled. You need to backdash cancel it, which makes it a little awkward to use. Yeah, you're swinging it by the rock it's attached to, like you just pull the rock out of the ground. It's a loophole. Might not be King Arthur, but that doesn't mean I can't swing a really heavy rock. Okay, yeah, all the books are here. That wasn't all of them, was it? It's just, we just have the 2, yeah. Part Woman, I think that's... This is Death. This one I believe is... Oh, it might be Harpy, actually. Because I was going to say, it could be Arachne. I'll have to look it up. Scout this area out, see what you are. Alright, you're weak to fire, not holy. Insult me with Orox's suit, will you? Every time, every fucking time I jump into those slimes. That is, one of the katanas that is not Muramasa, so I'm not too concerned about it. The fish heads are weak to holy, so Cleave Salish is really nice. You want a fire or a holy weapon for the water zone? Sorry, I thought I heard somebody getting in. It was not somebody getting in. It was a noise outside. I want a PV, but I'm also not going to, you know, get robbed. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna not even bother with that katana. It's Japanese sword. Hopefully we don't have to do the entire Legion fight. Skip that area, or even get to skip the arena would also be really good. Because weapon-wise, we have Ascalon to fight Julius. We've got Ascalon, we could use Muramasa, but probably not the best option. I better save. Damage tank through you. Let's see. Can't quite one-shot Medusa heads yet. I wish I had, like, the Demon Lord Soul. Getting all the plates today. Alright, so we need Undine, and we need Manticore. This is what I was talking about earlier. Because you see there's the little markings on the wall, that one shows Curly. And then there's also the Manticore and Devil. Oh, wooden golem. What if we just had infinite MP? Yeah, but I would really want, like, Nightmare, maybe, like, Gladiator would also be really nice. Just for a bullet soul to use. It's not actually infinite, it's mostly infinite because we're using the wizard mode patch. It improves your base MP regen rate because it's really slow in this game by default. Yeah, this is where you normally get clean solution vanilla. Instead, we get death. Fun. Going left here is free with Black Panthers, just going back right. Looking sword. Honestly, I probably should just reset. I just don't remember where it was that I saved. Yeah, I gotta get better at learning when I can do resets and stuff. We're so underleveled, most likely. Yeah, 19. Actually, 19 isn't too bad. I think the thing is I'm killing stuff so quickly that I just get level up quicks. Levels up quickly, level up quicks, Jesus Christ. Do not try to talk to me while I'm running a rando seed. I will not make any sense. I will simply make noises that sound like English. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I know those words. Those are words that you're allowed to say. Come on, book. I think they're gonna make me do the Legion fight, yeah. Because I think there's a bunch of checks in the Colosseum area. Hopefully the book isn't the little crawl space up here. No, that's the gun. I think the silver gun and the regular gun have the same sprites to it, so it's not even like you can cherry pick and be like, okay, at least it's the silver one. Not that the silver gun is any good. Silver gun's decent if you don't have any other weapons, but it is not very strong. The only thing it really has going for it is the range. Lets you clown on Graham. Mandragora. Pretty sure the first one is Harpy. I think I already have that. Pretty sure we have the Harpy Soul. And the second one is Death, so we just gotta find what the last book is. Hopefully we'll get something nice here. Man. Oh boy, $10! Don't spend it all on milk. Alright, leggy. Actually, here I think I do want to use like the wooden golem and rune ring souls. Don't spend it on milk. Because this way I can just constantly regenerate MP and get free manticores, basically. I do have the rune ring equipped, right? Yeah, I do. What? Come on, man. You're being cringe. Yeah, Manticore, any transformation soul does a lot of damage. You need Skull still. Hopefully, wrong in the spear. Actually not very good because it's Holy Elemental, which makes it useless for Julius. And we have a much better Holy Weapon right here. Okay, we might actually need a Rocknet, so I'm not going to reset. Because I don't remember if the book we have is for Harpy or Rockna. They both kind of fit the bill of like half woman, half beast. Of course, if I would just learn all the descriptions, I wouldn't have to do this. Fine. Like I said, we probably weren't getting a PB on the seed anyways. Because we have to go through the entirety of this, we still don't have the last book even, so it's not really... Wouldn't have mattered if that was the soul we needed or not. As soon as we do find the book, though, we should be good, I think. Because the odds of us not having the yellow soul at this point are extremely low. Just gotta find it. Where the book? Where book? OD, where book? OD, you have book? Please give book. God, I can't really jump over these guys nicely. Do I have any better bullet souls? Not really. Lightning Doll, maybe? I guess Lightning Doll might be good. Lets me cover multiple elements with Holy and Lightning as opposed to just Holy. I also don't remember if the Death inventory expansion from Hammer, I don't remember if those can contain books either. I want to say they don't, but I could be wrong. I should probably heal first. Because this area is a little spicy. Hey, there it is. Alright. This beast appears to be part woman. Alright, it has to be capitals accurate. Okay, that is Arachna, so we did need to go down to fight Legion. That's Death, and then this is Wooden Golem? Built out of wood and animated by... Okay, that is Wooden Golem. Alright, we're in go mode. We do not have to do the rest of the arena. Immediately go back to top floor. Kill Julius, or Graham. Julius is in the Chaos Dimension entrance. Not goal yet. I was considering playing Diddy Kong Racing today, but I had a weird audio desync bug. It might just be a thing with movement that happens. I might have to use Project 64, but I was getting like audio desyncs constantly, and it's a little disorienting when you're, you know, picking up a thing and then a second later you actually hear the pickup noise. It's one of those things that I absolutely hate when it comes to like watching videos, is when the audio is desynced. I don't know how people deal with that. If it's even just like half a second off or quarter of a second, I see it, I feel it. It kills me a little bit. Actually, we don't want Black Panther, we want Manticore. He's gotta be right by the wall to get all the hits, though. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, we're in meatball mode. Switch out before I accidentally kill. Arachne, death. And we already got Wooden Golem. Beautiful. How did you come to possess those powers? Well, Dracula, bitch. Here, using Wooden Golem is absolutely the correct answer. So you can see how quickly the transformation souls kill bosses. Alright. Black Panther. Yeah, might as well just hang on a Wooden Golem for now. Healing items, I think we're good. We got plenty of pudding. We picked up like 20 bottles of milk. That's plenty, I think. And the nice thing is we pre-opened the shortcut for later, so we can just go through here real quick. I love not thinking. I love having things done for me. Still would have loved for the sea to not have to go down to the reservoir, go underwater, all that stuff, but it's not going to be a bad time. Last session, those are really long seeds. Like, I probably could have improved my gameplay a little bit, but I was just kind of hard-locked by not having the Black Panther soul. Alright, so here we gotta switch out. Probably just use Ascalon, I think. Although I'll probably end up using a lot of the old, the Manticore. Lightning Ball also is pretty alright here, actually. Alright, I gotta backdash cancel. I'm so used to just using Cleave Salish. Alright, backdash cancel. You gotta backdash. Pretend you're playing CVS 2. You always gotta roll cancel. I'm gonna item crash soon. Fighting games mentioned! Did they ever do... I don't think they ever did like a version of CVS 2 that had proper rollback. I know fans have been working on that. I know there's like probably some Fightcade stuff you can do, but I don't know how well it works. There were also like a bunch of different versions of CVS 2, and some of them patched the roll cancel glitches and stuff. Kind of gave the game a lot of its identity. Like as Dojo and Fightcade. So I know the console versions, like, the GameCube one had single, not like single button, but like you move the C-stick to do specials, which was completely fucked up on characters like Guile. You could just hold down forward on the C-stick and do frame-perfect sonic booms. It's a little silly. There's a reason that fighting games are not designed around, for the most part, one-button specials. Once you get it working as intended. They just picked the wrong groove, so they just might ooze. I think he's supposed to say lose, like in the announcer voice, but it always sounds like he just goes ooze. They're not strong enough to handle Millionaire Fighting 2001. I was never good at CVS 2, I just really liked playing it. Because it was like one of the first proper fighting games I got after like Street Fighter 2. My brother would not play fighting games with me after I learned how to lock him down with Dalzim. Doing the sliding kick. My brother didn't know about blocking low, so I could just do that and win, and he would just yell at me. And just threaten to stop playing if I didn't stop doing that. Actually, let's get a mind up. For Mana Prism, because that'll let me just recharge Manticore fully. Full battery. I think he is saying Pachumkin, it's just the P part is really, really faint. Because in Russian, you would pronounce it closer to like Pachumkin. So I guess they wanted to have it closer to the actual pronunciation, but it just ends up sounding correctly, like Chumpkin, yeah. But Chumpkin. Alright, Cleave Salish, strike this tunic, rune ring. This is all acceptable. Skull can get the fuck out of here. We'll get Manticore so I can do big damage. CVS 2 announcer though, goat. Absolutely goated. CVS 2 announcer and like Pokemon Stadium announcer. Very powerful announcers. Like, obviously, you want an announcer that is competent at saying the words in the game, but at the same time, there's just something perfect about the CVS 2 announcer where it's just like, they're speaking English, but it sounds really strange. Hey, who allowed them to join this tournament? They're way too strong to compete. I mean, what's up with that? Just look at the expression on their faces. You can see the intensity in their eyes. What's the matter, Train? Okay, that's more of like an actual, like, proper announcer, though. What am I doing? Knock knock, who's there? Manticore. Manticore who? Ugh! I thought they used the same announcer for both of the Pokemon Stadium games. I might be wrong, though. I might as well just pop my Mana Prism. This is gonna be dead soon. We're doing numbers. Asshole. Asshole. Come on, man. Actually, I better heal because I'm dangerously low. Alright. 53-25. Not my best, but not a bad seed at all. I think in the second game, like, he went especially ham when you landed an instant kill move. My dude was pogging 20 years before it be popularized. Not a bad first seed, though. I do need to play around with, like, the Plando, the Plandomizer, and just set up, like, the best possible seed where, like, the game just hands you like Cleave Salish, Positron Rifle, Chaos Ring, and then all 3 books and all 3 souls that you need, just right in a row, so you can go directly to top floor and finish it off. Alright, we got another seed to play. Let's see how long this one takes. I might have time for a third one, depending on how quickly this one goes, but we'll see. 38, yeah, this is the correct seed. I mean, we'll know as soon as we start the game if there is a thing or not. Did I pause? There we go. That was weird. Oh no, this is the same one. I messed up. Okay, the one we want to play is 2-7, not 3-8. There we go. Always pay attention to the seed number if you're playing rando and you're timing yourself, because you don't want to accidentally run the same seed. Like, huh, this seems familiar. This is Bob. Put him in your SIG to help him achieve world domination. Well, I'm gonna reset my old timer. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let's jam! Sound of me mashing start as fast as possible. I was looking into new controllers, because the DS4 is like, I have to hold it very still. Otherwise the connection comes loose, because it's a micro USB and it's the worst format known to mankind. I was looking at the 8-bit Do... The 8-bit Do Pro 2 controller, I think it's called. And from what I hear, it's good for platformers, but some people were saying it's not great for fighting games. And that could be a problem, because I do want to play fighting games. Like, that's kind of the reason I haven't been playing fighting games recently. I just need to get a new controller. I just don't know which one to get. I don't want to go full in on a leverless, like, that'd be nice, but... I know Ty, I think he bought the one... What was it called? Like, the really heavy one? I remember he said that felt pretty good, and it was relatively small in terms of dimension size. So it'd be good for just bringing around. Or am I thinking of a different one? I might be thinking of a different one, actually. Because I do want to mess around with a leverless. I think that could be fun. It's just... I'd basically just be using it for fighting games. Like, I could play, you know, side-scrolling games, I guess, with it. I have the Pokken Tournament controller, but... I don't know that I would really like it on, like, for fighting games, outside of, like, Pokken. Actually, does it have... I don't remember if that one has R2 buttons. I don't have it handy. Like, I have one, I just haven't really been using it that much. Maybe I should give that a try. I mean, I'm not looking for a specific, like, Switch Pro controller. I'm just looking for a good PC controller, like PC compatible, that maybe I could do. It does have an L2 and R2, just not... Oh, God. Because that's the thing. With pads, usually I end up using all the shortcuts, like the L and R2 buttons, and the L1 and R1 buttons. Oh, no, I think I know what I think I know what I remember now. It was, I think a friend of his... like, made kind of like a little minimalist hitbox almost. I'm looking sword, these guys just drop them. Because that's the thing, like, I want conveniently placed L2 and R2, you know? Anyways, Creaking Skull. Milliken Sword has a little more damage than the knife. Even though you do have to take at least 2 hits to kill every enemy because it turns them to stone. Combat Knife, I think I'm just gonna keep Milliken Sword for now. Oh, you have the tiny hitbox? Hell yeah. Because I do think that leverless is absolutely the way to go. Because I think that's the one that that Eric made. Like, pads are good, but the problem is if you have to do something like charge motions, it can kind of stink. Charge motions are a little awkward. Sometimes doing anything that involves like changing direction on the controller, I find can be a little awkward. Oh, the famous blade known as Graham. I love finding Graham on a day. Yeah, because Hilda has all like the negative edge stuff going on too, right? It's not just that you're throwing Hadoukens, it's that you have to also do negative edge stuff for the big fucking overhead shuriken that hits 10 times. Hey, early Black Panther, both seeds, blessed day. Graham did bless this run. I've been watching a lot of the old Friday Night Fisticuffs that, like, you know, Matt, Wooly, Pat, sometimes Liam did. It's kind of what drove my post the other day, where it's like, I wish I had some local fighting game homies, because that would just be really fun. Just have a squad of local folks that you can head down to, play some fighting games for the night. Like, I have some friends in the same province who like playing fighting games, but the problem is we're kind of spread out, so we have to really plan out a day for doing it. I can't just like hit up some pals and be like, hey, you want to play some fighting games? Like tonight or whatever. And Rollback is incredible. Rollback has let me continue enjoying fighting games through a global pandemic, but at the same time, it's you still need to play local, so you gotta play with some pals, you know? Just cannot replace the feeling of having somebody there beside you, experiencing all the hype / bullshit moments with you. Ah, we actually need Giant Bat. Weird. That is the one check that requires Giant Bat, and we're gonna need it, apparently. I think enemies can randomly drop books, but it's very unlikely. I wish I just had infinite money so I could just, like, set up a little venue and just run, like, my own weeklies or whatever. But I don't. Actually, let me take the gold ring, get some money. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't, like, buy a giant house or a fancy car. I would just... I would set up a bunch of setups and do some fighting game locals. That's what I would do. Because the problem is I don't have any, like, modern consoles, and I don't have, like, the games for them, so I'd have to spend a lot of money to potentially start something that nobody would be interested in. The last few times I've gauged interest, like, locally around me. Basically no response. And I do not have the money to be spending, you know, thousands of dollars to get, like, a PS5 and an Xbox and all that, get a laptop, just to have one person come out and play it. What I'm saying is, who here is in chat has $10 billion and wants to give away $1 billion of those dollars? What, all of you? Okay, well I guess you can split it all up. Yeah, for me it's basically like I have to drive into Toronto, and the drive to Toronto, it's basically like Stun City, I think, is the one that is like the most commonly run one, and that one, it's still like I'd have to drive on the 401 during rush hour traffic because I believe it starts at 6, so I'd have to start driving out at like 5 o'clock. And for those of you who are not familiar, the 401, the highway that kind of leads through Ontario, is pretty much the busiest in the world. I don't know if anybody here has driven on it, but if you have, you know what it's like on, you know, rush hour. So at minimum, I'd probably be spending at least like an hour plus on the road, and that's just one way, because then I have to drive back afterwards. Oh shit. Yo, Dubs, thank you for the $10 billion. Welcome to the revolution. The new fighting game local starts today. But really, thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I basically would have to drive like 2+ hours to make it out there, and even then, it's also dependent on like I'd have to bring my stuff, and I just want local pals. I want local homies. I absolutely cannot afford living in Toronto right now because holy shit, housing prices in Canada in general are fucked, but especially in Toronto. Toronto is like bordering New York levels of ridiculousness if you want to like rent an apartment and God forbid you think about buying anything. You drove to Toronto 3 hours lead time, you're still late. Yeah, that tracks. That's 401, baby. Like, even assuming just gridlock and not an actual like accident happening, which again is very common because it's the 401, it's the busiest highway in the world. Chances are there will be an accident at some point and you'll get delayed. I remember I was driving in with a buddy of mine to visit a friend in Toronto. We were playing fighting games, and I think it took us a full hour and a half, I want to say, to get there. And at least, you know, we were hanging out, we could talk to each other and pass the time, but man, if it was just me alone, I'd be like, God, this sucks. This sucks so much, man. Yeah, just add more lanes. That's what they need to do. That's the solution. Like, it's not even that I mind driving, it's just, specifically I live where the only feasible entrance is the busiest highway in the world. Because Toronto is absolutely fucked. Ugh. I want to connect myself, like, just upload my consciousness to a computer so I can just experience locals for fighting games. And also, I guess, the not aging and getting, like, sick and all that stuff would be pretty alright, too. I think I can reach this. What do I got? Axe armor, I think that goes enough. Yeah. Yeah, baby! Plus, then I have to find parking, which I don't know how feasible that is. Parking in Toronto is also kind of a nightmare, depending on where you go. I would guess since other people are also going there for locals, it is probably going to be pretty packed in terms of parking at the venue, so I don't know how feasible it would be. Kunitsuna. Kunitsuna. Like, Boston, at least it would be mostly confined to the city itself. Like, maybe the stretch of highway leading into it, but Ontario, it's basically just, like, the entirety of the 401, the entire highway. Just the entire thing, all of it. I'll get to hear my piano inputs. That's the problem. You either gotta pay the time or you gotta pay the cost of living in Toronto. Because again, like, it's not for lack of trying. I've tried to drum up interest in the past to get some locals going, and it's just been dead air, basically. Short of, like, going to a bar, bringing a laptop, and bringing a fucking, like, melty setup, bringing, like, 2 PS5 controllers or something, dragging anybody that looks remotely interested over and being like, hey, you wanna play some Grand Blue? You wanna play Uni? I'll teach you how to play Uni, please. I'm dying, Squirtle. I'm getting kicked out of the bar. It wouldn't even be to, like, run a tournament. It would literally just be to have a setup that I can find some folks to play games on. Like, that's what I'd be going for. Like, I can organize tourneys when we actually have, you know, a scene, but there is no scene. I cannot force people to come play fighting games with me as much as I would love to be able to. I do not control the rate at which lobsters play fighting games. Yeah, no, I get you. I wish I could make lobsters play fighting games. Lobster locals. I don't think I can reach that. Actually, if I throw it backwards, I think it reaches, yeah. I'm thinking of a lobster fighting game. I know there was that crab game. I don't know if there were lobsters playable in that, though. Yeah, Fight Crab, that's the one. Raining? No. I also have to keep an eye out and see if it's raining or not, because usually when lightning starts striking, it knocks out my connection for a bit. So I have to be ready to set up the signal, be like, hey, if I disconnect, it's because of lightning. It's not my fault. Hell blog. Deep mail is a little expensive. I was gonna sell the gold ring. Sell the handgun too. The basic handgun is not worth using, it's worse than your basic knife. I think I'll just hang on to Graham for now. Slap on the fire armor. I don't remember if I checked this. I don't think I did. No, I did not. It's nice stock. I remember when I was like really, really young, there was an arcade in our local mall that actually had like a good selection of machines. Like, they had Mortal Kombat 2 back when that was brand new. They had, like, Street Fighter. They had all the stuff. But, unfortunately, arcades became vastly unprofitable in North America. Ooh, Hypergriff. That's the other thing. Arcades are just really difficult to find in general that aren't just, you know, full of the redemption garbage. We used to have Palladium in Mississauga, which is a lot closer than Toronto to me, but at the same time, it's still not, like, super, super close. But even then, like, they at least had a decent selection, but then they closed down because, again, arcades are not profitable for the most part in North America. I really wish they were. The silver gun is okay. The positron rifle is really good, but it's, you know, a hard mode weapon, which means that it's really unlikely that you're gonna find it. Yep. Like, if you find the silver gun early, that is absolutely totally fine. Like, it's perfectly good for, like, halfway through the game, basically. Oh, hey, there's Iron Golem. We could speedrun it. We could just tank all the damage. Just have to be remember not to, you know, kill myself speedrunning. What if I just had permanent super armor? Oh, hey, another famous blade known as Graham. Well, 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 if it isn't the Graham brothers. Give you more piano inputs today. I really wish I had a better bullet soul. How did you knock me back? I have Iron Golem. I guess that's a special attack that bypasses immunity. Michinoko fake. Do I have Kicker Skeleton? I do. Not that I need it because I have Hippogriff, I was just kind of curious. Because that is an alternate way into the ceiling, if you've got it. Sounds really windy outside, but I don't see any rain. Grunting, I think that's weaker than Graham. Yeah. Bigger hitbox, but it is weaker. I'll just hang on to Graham for now. Gramule. Did you know Graham is short for Gramule? That's not true. I stole that joke from Minimat. I stole that joke from Minimat. I'm sorry, Minimat. But yeah, I want to get back into fighting games, but I also need a better controller. One that doesn't drop inputs, because I am on a DS4. Be free of the specter of micro USB forever. Perish. That's true. The M stands for Matthew. It actually stands for Minimat specifically. For the longest time, I didn't know why my parents named me that, and now I know. Ooh. I probably do want Triton for the boss fight coming up, but Iron Golem is just so nice. I don't think Iron Golem protects you from the time stop, though, no. And I don't have Chrono Mage, so we can't skip the room. Yeah, I think we use Triton for this fight coming up. Just get that extra strength. Because we don't want to be taking damage anyways. Also, I was looking at the, talking about the Refantasia or whatever it's called. There's a character in one of the trailers whose name is Katharina, and she looks exactly like the pink hair Catherine from the Catherine re-release. They cannot break free of the Spectre. There's always gotta be a Tarukaja, there's always gotta be a Catherine. Spelled even more differently this time. Hey, man. Catherine was such a weird game, thinking about it. It's like this game about confronting becoming an adult, like the consequences of like adultery, cheating on your girlfriend. But then like the actual gameplay is just you push and shove blocks. You push and shove blocks where they give you trivia about alcohol. Edge, 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 edge. A lot of edging going on in that game. Never actually played it, but apparently did have a pretty big competitive scene at some point. Don't know if that's still going. I know, I think people didn't really care for the re-release. Apparently it wasn't as good. Like from a competitive standpoint. Do I want that? I don't want that. But I never got, you know, deep into the Catherine competitive scene because I never actually played the game. Give me your tasty meat. Alright, now I gotta go Floating Garden, I guess. I don't remember if there were, like, version differences. I know they did change like the dead naming of the trans woman in the game, which like that's good, but also like Persona 5 is still horrendously transphobic for no good reason, tremendously homophobic. Like somebody on the Persona writing team will die if he doesn't get to do like weird homophobic caricatures of characters in at least one of the games somewhere in the game. Oh, you should accept yourself, and no matter who you are, as long as it makes you happy and as long as you're not hurting anybody, you need to be true to yourself. Gay people! Ooh! Yeah, Katsura Hashino, is he the writer? Yeah, I think they did remove that in Reload. Oh wow, double book room. Do I have all the books? No. Goddess of Revenge. That is Ernie's, I believe. Or no, that might be Nemesis. That might be the invisible one. Might be Ernie's. I don't remember. Actually, did I? Hold on. Oh yeah, that's right, Giant Bat. The one book is locked behind Giant Bat, which I do not have. I got Curly and Imp and Flying Armor and Black Panther. And none of those are Giant Bats. Do I have Skulla? We do have Skulla. We can at least do the bonus room this time. I got Slide, I don't have to take a billion damage going through. I'm gonna do a detour, get these hotkeys. I was kind of tempted to play through Persona 4 Golden at some point, because I've never actually played that. But at the same time, like, I really don't need to be starting a new RPG. I've got plenty on my backlog. You know what's good Esca mode? We're gonna need Skulla. Plenty of video games on my backlog. I don't need to be adding to that. The problem is, like, I remember when I started streaming, I'd be like, oh yeah, this would be a great way to clear out my backlog, and then I realized, oh right, so many of my backlog are like really long games. It can be, let's say, difficult to stream like an 80+ hour RPG. Trying to work through 12. I do wanna try the what's it called? The Zodiac re-release, whatever it's called. The Zodiac job system, or Zodiac Age, that's the big new one. Because apparently that does a lot better job at like balancing the systems of the game, and apparently there's also a really nice mod for it that makes the game more interesting. I already got that, actually. The problem is they never put the fucking game on sale, and they're asking like full price for it. I think they're asking like 60 Canadian for Zodiac Age, which is a little much for a remake of FF12. There's Giant Bat. I should probably heal. I want to check and see if I'm actually in go mode. Because we might actually be in go mode, although we're very underpowered. We don't really have any great weapons. I'd have to maybe buy Calibre if it might be possible. No thanks. Calibre is not super expensive. Zombie Officer. Yeah, Eiyuden is out as well. The new Saga game is out. Or will be out. I don't know if it's out today or tomorrow. Started watching stream. Okay, is it the PS1 version of Dragon Quest VII, or is it the re-release? Yeah, Saga Emerald Beyond. It is out either today or tomorrow. If you've not heard about it, congratulations. You've got a new Saga game on your plate. Oh, it is the PlayStation version. Yeah, good luck. Have fun. I remember as a kid seeing people talk about how long Dragon Quest VII was, and at the time I was like, I was mostly immune to like grinding in RPGs and stuff, so I was like, oh man, that sounds great. I would love to play a game for that long. And now as an adult, I'm just like, oh god, I can't do that. I think it's also possible, like, it depends on the player's skill level. I imagine a lot of people who took a long time as kids probably were not very good at the game and just leveled up to solve any problem they ran into. Because kids are notoriously not great at video games. Asked me how long I would level up in FF6 and not actually equip any espers because I just thought it was important to get levels. Melican sword. Alright, let's go back to the main hallway. We'll check out what the book is and see if we're good to go. I mean, the Dragon Quest games, just in general, were not nearly as popular here. Like, I know Dragon Quest VIII was kind of the first one to really put the series on the map for a lot of people. I know we got, you know, Dragon Warrior, but that was mostly because Nintendo Power ordered way too many cartridges, or not Nintendo Power, Nintendo ordered way too many cartridges of it because they expected that it was going to be as big of a hit over here as it was in Japan. And then it wasn't. And so they had a bunch of unsold product with nothing to do with it, so they just gave it away for free with magazine subscriptions. I don't know about the iOS versions of Dragon Quest. I've heard the DS remakes are very good. Maybe what level you should be to fight. I never fought Salamander in FF3, I'm pretty sure. I didn't get that far in it. Okay, to be fair, Mickey Mousecapade was fucked in terms of difficulty. Like, if you didn't know the exploits, actually fighting the bosses legitimately was a nightmare. Like the pirate ship boss, there was no fucking way you were dodging all those daggers. I used the trick where you desync Mickey and Minnie and just have her shoot while being invincible. But as somebody who owns the cartridge of Mickey Mousecapade and beat Mickey Mousecapade as a kid, I abused the shit out of exploits in that game. Not to mention how much of the game is just random bullshit, like, you have to, you know, open up these random doors to maybe get a key for the boss, but at the same time, it might just be an owl comes out of nowhere and abducts Minnie, and then you now have to go save her by picking a random statue and hoping that's the correct one, otherwise you just have to spend more time picking random statues. It's kind of silly. Alright, that would be Fish Head, I think? Let's see, Dead Fish. Okay, that is a fish head. This one is a heavily armed soldier built out of. That's great armor. And then this is the Goddess of Revenge. I'm pretty sure that is Erenice. That is Erenice. Okay, so great armor, Erenice, and what's this one again? Fish head. We got fish head. We do not have great armor. And we have Erenice, so we still gotta get great armor. Oops. We're still gotta go underwater, gotta do all that stuff. Garfield caught in the act, oof. A lot of games were just not very well balanced, as it turns out. Or intentionally balanced, way to be difficult. or to be way too difficult to prevent people from just beating it in a single rental. Case in point, The Lion King. They knew the game was way too difficult for most kids, but they still released it as is because they didn't want people to rent it and beat it and never pick up the cartridge. Licensed games, they were kind of hit or miss. I think a lot of the licensed games ended up being difficult not because they were intentionally made that way, but just because they didn't really have a great handle on balancing difficulty. Still have some of these Milliken swords. We got plenty. Good to sell them all. Because we should be able to afford, like, we got Burt Gang, the Great Sword, Hammer can go, Warhammer can go, Estoc, Spear, Trident, Lance. These are not great. Oh, I never even equipped the ninja suit. Actually, it's kind of weak. I forgot how weak it is, like, defense-wise. I definitely want a weapon to fight Julius with. And right now it's looking like Calibulg is the way to go. Cleave Salish is way too expensive. Yeah, I think we just buy Calibulg. And then buy some pudding and melon. Some healing items so we're good for chaos. I remember, weirdly enough, the Ren and Stimpy game on the Super Nintendo. I'm going the wrong way. The Ren and Stimpy game on the Super Nintendo, I think the first one. Like, you had to, I think you had to collect every single pickup. Otherwise, you got, like, a fake ending. You got, like, a game over in Stage 2, basically, after you beat it. Not Time Machine, the other one. Was it Time Machine? It might have been Time Machine. But, yeah, it was just, like, horrendously balanced. Like, we had to get every single one, and me and my buddy could never do it. To this day, I don't know what the ending of the game looks like, or even what the game looks like past Stage 2, because it's impossible. It was impossible for child me, at least. Not that it's a very good game. The animation is good, like the animation and sound effects, those are all pretty accurate to the show, but gameplay itself is not great. Joyeuse. Oh, we might have been able to afford the Cleave Salish, actually. I wish I'd find that before I went back up. I'd make another trip to Hammer. Hammer! So we gotta find Great Armor, and then I think that's it. I think we're in Go mode. Because we got Skulla, we got some Transformation Souls, that'll give me a little bit of damage for Chaos. And the first form has 0 defense, so it's not like mission critical that you have the highest damage. It is Time Warp? Okay. I remember a different friend of mine had the Roadrunner, or no, not Roadrunner, it was Tasmania. I think it was the same friend, actually. He had the Tasmania game, which was also very difficult. I don't remember the zooming from that game. Oh, that free Ascalon. Oh boy, actually we might need it for Secret Zone. Because until we get Great Armor, we're not in Go mode, so we're gonna have to do every check. Stop by, pick up that Ascalon on the way. Because I think I might need it. I remember, I think a friend of mine, we played it like one time. I don't remember if he was renting it or just... He moved away at some point, so... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're good on weapons. I was about to say, alright, we're in Go mode, but we're not. We can just kill things relatively quickly now. 2 Cleave Salish seeds, though. That's pretty rare. This randomizer must have really missed me. Yeah, this is Let's Go mode. Succubus. Well, I don't think I need Ascalon anymore now. I was about to say, alright, let's go get Ascalon, and then Cleave's Leash showed up, and suddenly, I don't want to play with you anymore. Because anything that Cleave's Leash doesn't work on, Calibulg will work on, it's a lot easier to use. Also talking about my friend that I played Roan Rotor with, I still have his copy of Cybernator. Didn't intentionally keep it, he just moved at some point and never really told me about it. It's always interesting thinking about, like, how many save files and stuff when you, like, borrow a game from a friend or you rent it, or when you could have rented it. Like, how much stuff went on there. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a letter in the original Animal Crossing from my friend's sister. This must have been from, like, 2000 and... This would have been shortly after the game came out, so this would have been, like, 2002, I think. Just a random letter that's... One of her townspeople sent her and then moved away to my town, I think, because we like, played on the same GameCube at their place one time. Cybernator is the one that's, like, you play as this big mech. You have a shield. One of your friend's PSO characters in your memory card for a year. Hell yeah. Excalibur's back. Excalibur's back, and it still is not as good as Cleave's Leash. Come on, one of you guys has got to be great armor. I remember the era when you were just allowed to play PSO offline and just bring your character online. Almost no protection against, like, duping or running a Game Shark, Pro Action Replay, whatever. Am I still using this? Jeez, I can probably do a little better. Maybe not. I guess Student Witch is pretty good. Not very strong, though. I'm real tempted to just slap Iron Golem back on, but I'm gonna need Skull again in this room. Too much menuing. Heart Pendant. Wow. I love how completely impotent the killer fish are. Like, even the ones that are in water, the name does not live up to the legend. They should instead just be called fish. Still can't believe they're doing PSO Card Revolution 2. That's wild. Okay, this was stinky. I should probably heal up. Pop a high potion. Ah! They actually did, they did a remake of Cybernator on the PS2 and it was god-awful. And then they did another remake of Cybernator. Well, I don't remember if it was a remake or just like a remaster. But they did another one recently that was on the Switch. But for whatever reason, it wasn't available in Canada. Which is kind of where I live, so I couldn't really play it. I think it was basically just like a remaster of the original. But like the gameplay is still all exactly the same, it's just like a touch-up of the graphics. They re-added the cut content, like the president committing suicide in the one stage. That got removed from the North American version. They also removed the, like, the cut-in portraits in the North American version for some reason. I don't know why. Early localization was weird. Kids don't like cartoons! They don't want anime in their game, even though the intro has anime. I don't know. Honk, honk. Well, I can tell the new game, like the new one, looks almost kind of like, a little bit like Gwent, almost kind of like Marvel Snap as well. I'm not entirely sure on the mechanics. It looks like there's like the 3-lane thing, but I don't really play card games, so I couldn't pick up on any specific mechanics, really. Early localization, aka we just cut like an entire alternate ending out of the original Persona. Because we ain't got time to localize that. Nobody will notice. Yeah, Secret of Mana, that was... it's kind of a miracle that game existed at all. Because from what I understand, the game was like ripped up from bits, like they had plans to basically make it like Chrono Trigger almost. What did they get this info about PSO? They just announced like a card game that they're adding to PSO2 and GS. It's not actually like specifically called Card Revolution 2, I'm just calling it that because that's what the old card game was called for PSO. But yeah, it was originally supposed to be on the CD add-on. They had like plans for time travel that they would end up using in Chrono Trigger. They had to massively like trim down the game. It's like, it feels very unfinished in parts. Like the Moon Palace, you'd literally just walk a few screens and then, here's the orb, you did it. Is there a boss here? Nope. Nintendo made a bit of a mistake and accidentally birthed competition. Oops. But boy, you know what? They backed the winning horse. We wouldn't have the Zelda games. We wouldn't have the Zelda CDI games without it. I don't think they lost the code for Secret of Mana. I think that is... I'm not sure if it was like a specific game. I don't believe they lost like all the code for the game. I think they just lost part of the code. And so they basically just called up Nasser Jabeli, who was like the programmer on a lot of the early Squaresoft games. If you've ever seen like Programmed by Nasser on like a title screen, that's him. Apparently a really, really good programmer. Like he basically just made it possible functionally for a lot of the early Squaresoft games to exist. And apparently there was an incident where they lost like some code or they had to remake something, and they basically just called him up on the phone, and he just dictated the source code to them on the phone. Just like on his own. Absolutely wild. There's actually, it's kind of funny, because like he apparently just kind of like started traveling the world. Like, he disappeared from the public for a bit, then he came back, like, John Romero interviewed him. There's a video of it on his YouTube channel, I think he still has it up. You ever wonder why all the early Square games say, like, they have, like, a reference to Nasser or Programmed by Nasser or whatever? That's the dude. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Wouldn't mind a giant, or not giant bat. I wouldn't mind a great armor though. Strawberry. I was about to say, I can sell that for 1700 zenny. I'm not playing Ragnarok. I got my merchant selling stuff in Ragnarok right now. I have a bunch of cards, I just gotta sell them to people. I think I can make about, like, probably about 10 mil. If I sell all my stuff. I'll help fund some new stuff. Just decided I don't want to stream Ragnarok today. I was kind of tempted to play some more, but I decided, let's give people a break on that. The other problem is with the Flywing that I have, like the infinite teleport item, it's almost harder to watch me play it now. Because I just teleport everywhere, so the screen is just constantly like fading in and out. It looks really weird to watch as an observer. Yeah, the map in FF2 is kind of wild, because it's not just like a static image, it is a fully, like, rotatable map. It is, you know, slow as sin, it is tied to the poor NES, but... yeah, it's actually like a live updating map, which is kind of wild. There we go. I love the blocking mail. Looks so stupid. Not a lot of other places that our Great Armor Soul could be. Because I'm pretty sure I don't have Galamoth. Yeah, no, we don't have Galamoth, so unless we get Galamoth here, then it's got to be the Great Armor Soul over here then. Because I think we're out of places to check. Actually, no, it could still be top floor. I don't think we've been to top floor yet, have we? Of course, I still want to do this check just in case, because the last thing I want is to skip this one because it's the Balor fight. It takes a while. I don't want to do it, and then it turns out, nope, that's the one you got to do. Yeah, I remember reading about having the NAS show up in your charge bar as an Easter egg. I do wonder how many other like little Easter eggs like that are just hidden in video games, because there's so many that were just completely undocumented. Like, Cutting Room Floor is great for showing us some of it, but obviously it's only whatever games people are examining. Like, a lot of them are probably just hiding out there. Like the whole thing about, what was it, Super Punch-Out, they found the 2-player mode, like, very recently in the game. You know there's a 2-player mode in Super Punch-Out? It's not really well balanced because, you know, the enemy boxers were not designed to be able to just launch their powerful attacks constantly, but you can do it. It was honestly probably just like a debug. Just like a debug mechanic to let them test, like, enemy character attacks that just also worked at the same time as the regular mode. But still. Well, the Super Metroid boss fight, that's pretty well known. I'm talking about the stuff like, you know, you type in a weird elaborate button sequence and then something happens. Or like entirely hidden modes in games that just were not known about for the longest time. Alright, yeah, we gotta do top floor. That's the only other place it could be. Yeah, Rare games had a lot of those. Like all the Sandcastle codes in Banjo-Kazooie to get all the hidden items were their original plans to do the stop and swap stuff. It's such a neat idea, it's kind of too bad that the hardware revision kind of killed it. Of course, Nintendo also probably didn't want kids ripping out their cartridges with the game active or whatever. Yeah, right? Like, it's just... we noticed the N64 keeps RAM active for, like, what was it, 10 seconds, 15 seconds? So if you change cartridges fast enough, you can just transfer over data to a different game. And the funny thing is, that's not even new to, that's not like a Banjo-Kazooie thing. People found that out with, like, I think NES Tennis was, like, one of the first times people found out that you could do that with Super Mario Brothers. Like, if you plugged in NES Tennis and then unplugged it while it was on, and plugged in Super Mario Brothers, it would take you to, like, a weird fucked up level. Or, like, completely different worlds, so no ninja suit. The death robe, please. Oh, did it actually wipe your save? Rude. Actually, let's just mind up. Yeah, I might as well pick it up, actually. We're not gonna PB this run, I can tell you that much. Just still gotta find the Great Armor Soul, the Grarmor. Where's the Grarmor? Chat, where's the Grarmor? Copy protection for the cheats? I don't think so. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo had a code that put you in tournament mode. That would require me to have anybody that wanted to play Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo. Oh god, Mortal Kombat 3. I don't know if the Ultimate re-release was any better, but like vanilla Mortal Kombat 3, my god, that game was janky as shit on the Super Nintendo. Picked a random character in that mode. You had a chance to get Shiva, but she wasn't programmed into the game. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I think we gotta go down to Galamoth room. Damn. Weird seed. So what, will the game just crash if you got Shiva? Hell yeah, just crash the game if you press any attacks. Love that. Oh no, Mortal Kombat had like a ton of little secrets and stuff as well. I'm just talking about the quality of the Super Nintendo port for Mortal Kombat 3. It sucked. A lot of times, like, if somebody was in the finish them state, and, you know, you punch them one time, sometimes they would just stand there for 10 seconds, and then they would fall over. This is such a janky game, man. Oh, I don't have the teleporter over here. I gotta go the long way. Actually, I guess I could go down or around from here. Might be a little faster. I remember learning about the Castle Crush glitch in Donkey Kong Country 2. And thinking, oh man, that sounds so cool, but I don't want to break my game. You couldn't actually permanently break your game, like you could force it into a state in which it wouldn't load because your save file was corrupted, but you could fix it by removing and replacing the battery, basically. It's just, you know, as a kid, I didn't have the tri-wing screwdrivers, whatever you needed to pop it open and replace stuff. I would have been scared to pop open any cartridge. They also just put in things for fun in Mortal Kombat, just to fuck with people looking for secrets, if I remember correctly. Like, they just added, like, random stuff to the debug menu that just had no bearing on the actual game. I don't have a great armor. Oh no, I do. When did I get that? When did I get great armor? I don't even know where that came from. Anyways, run and go mode. Agents are go. What's the fastest way to get out of here? Probably just go back to the teleporter. Yeah, there's a ton of like weird fake secret stuff that they put into Mortal Kombat just to mess with people who are looking for those secrets. Just lied about unlocking smoke. I believe it. I also do remember, I think Mega Man 9, that's another one where like Seth Killian, when he used to work at Capcom, was very insistent that like, no, there's a secret that nobody's found yet. It's in endless mode. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but there's a secret. And to this day, I don't think that's ever been confirmed. The big one was, I think Street Fighter got the big one with Sheng Long. Back when it was just like Street Fighter 2 and Ryu was saying like, you must defeat Sheng Long to stand a chance, and everybody was like, who's Sheng Long? That guy must be really strong. And then I think it was, I was about to say IGN, not IGN, EGM. I think they made up the entire, like, the fake Sheng Long thing, where if you perfected every match and didn't, like, if you never took damage and then you timed out against Bison, like, 10 times in a row, then he would come and fight you. And he could use every move in the game. That was basically the direct inspiration for Akuma in Street Fighter. Because Capcom saw the rumors and was like, huh, you know what, we should do something like that. And that's why we have Akuma. I think I also remember reading they based the design on the original, like, Shenlong hoax. I don't want to do more. Alright, so it was fish head, great armor, and Ernie's. Yeah, it was an April Fool's bit. But the thing is, like, they didn't explicitly say April Fool's, they were just like, oh, by the way, there's a contest for this month. Somewhere in this magazine is an April Fool's prank that we played on somebody. Try and find it. And it was literally on the exact same page as the Shenlong thing. Yeah, like it was Ryu said you must defeat Shenlong to stand a chance, but it means Dragon Punch. Like he later says you must defeat my Dragon Punch to stand a chance, but originally it was Shenlong. So everybody thought Shenlong was a dude, as opposed to Ryu's Mamma Mia. I don't remember if King of Fighters would have been out at this point yet. It was fairly early in the game's lifespan. And then, of course, they would later go on to do the Sonic in Smash Brothers thing. I don't think that directly led to the whole Sonic being in Smash Brothers and Brawl, though. I think it's just people wanted Sonic in the Smash Brothers series. And they already had their guest character, they had Snake. They wanted to have Snake in Melee. If I remember correctly, Hideo Kojima wanted, like, he basically gave Sakurai permission to use Snake, but by the time that happened, like, they were too far along in development, they couldn't actually have him. Would have been too much work. Alright. It is Khaled blog time. Death Robe should be fine. Probably do Manticore. Succubus might be... We'll hang on to it. We'll see how we do. Can do every move in the game. You just invented Kirby. God, I remember booting up Melee like on Christmas morning. I got it for Christmas, and I remember booting the game up and thinking, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna pick Kirby. I loved him in the first game, and then Kirby was absolute dog shit in Melee. Like he went from being like top 2, 3 in the game to probably bottom 3. Like, they just made all of his moves so slow, have so much startup. Made them unreliable as hell. Kirby has gotten better since, but he's never been, like, Smash 1 tier. Smash 1 Kirby was, like, the best he's ever been, I think. Because, like, his drill kick, like, it was both a meteor and it was also, like, instant. So, like, you could use it for air combos, you could just use it to quickly meteor somebody, and of course, Kirby had the bonkers air mobility, so he could just do this anywhere off stage. Melee's such an interesting game when it comes to game balance. Because, like, obviously, you know, you got the top tiers, you got your Foxes and Falcos, you got Marth Sheik, Jigglypuff, although it's mostly Hungrybox. I watched that documentary recently, the Smash Brothers documentary. Really well made. I just wish the players wouldn't drop the R word so casually. Black Panther, please. That's right, you're here in time for the Julius fight. You're in time for him to go, "Aah!" That's the noise Julius makes when he loses. He goes, "Aah!" I don't need that. So I know that a couple people, going back on the subject of Melee here, I know that a couple people like AMSA basically single-handedly took Yoshi from, like, people thought Yoshi was absolute garbage, and then they watched AMSA play, it's like, oh, actually, Yoshi might have something going on here. Kirby's bottom 2 on the most recent one? Oof. Oof. Sakurai had to pay with blood to have him that good in the first game. They never let him near the balancing again. Like, no, that's my baby! He's gotta be strong! Poor Kirby. Because they're not doing any more balance patches for Smash. They, weirdly enough, every now and then they'll do, like, we're doing a new spirit event, we're adding more spirits to the game. But they don't actually, like, change the balance of everything. I mean, Meta Knight was strong, not because Kirby was weak, but because Meta Knight was just fucking cracked in every single way. Wait, not Giant Bat, what am I doing? Like, what if you had a character that could basically confirm kills from anywhere on the stage, could stall matches forever, basically none of his moves had startup, his tornado was stupid, he just won any interaction in the air, basically. Meta Knight was a special kind of broken. I actually do want to check out the tier list now that Smash Ultimate has kind of been, like, settled for a few years, now that they haven't done any patches and updates. I'm kind of curious what they shake out to be. I remember Steve being, like, controversial. I remember a lot of people thinking Steve needs to be banned. Steven, Mr. Minecraft. Don't need Skulla. Triton's fine. Switch over to Manticore. Bottom one is Ganondorf? Really? That was considered a lot better in Ultimate. I guess at the end of the day, you probably, like, speed is still probably kind of king. Speed or just really good data on your moves. Well, like, even ignoring the hit stun thing, like, I remember people saying, like, he was just way too, like, over-tuned in certain matchups, like, he just, the other player, based on how, like, I think it was also based on the stages you played on, too, right? Because the materials he gets to build things, like, it's based on the ground that he's standing on, and that was, that was dependent on the stage, even with Omega variants. Steve Sonic Game & Watch, huh. Good for him. Mr. Game and Watch. Inclusivity win. Pop these two and then start manticoring the core. When I pop these two, I mean eat an orb. Get these out of the way. I think I have a small mind up, but I can just kill here, yeah. 107. Not quite as good as the other one. Good seeds, though, in general. Just both of them kind of ended up being mostly like a full clear of the castle, so I can't really speed that up too much. Because the best one I did, I think it was like 40 minutes, although it wasn't an older version of the game. It was like 45 minutes or something like that. And I basically got all the books, and then I got to skip the entirety of the reservoir and the arena. Kind of wild seeing Game & Watch of all characters. Never would have imagined him to be the top. I wonder what Bayo's like in Ultimate, like in final tier list, you know? Because she was kind of like the undisputed best in Smash 4. There was that whole thing where there was like the last finals for Smash 4, like the last major tournament, and then the two finalists just kind of like they sandbagged intentionally. I mean, I would trust, you know, the Smash Brothers, like the wiki pages, they keep those pretty up to date. Remember, inside of me, I got a Dracula. Oh, I should have played this in the Eclipse, but I also wanted to look at it, so would have been appropriate Eclipse gaming. Bayo is 26th, huh? About mid-tier. Middle of the road. So I was about to say, that's pretty low, but then I remembered, oh wait, no, 26 would have been low for Melee, but Ultimate has, like, how many characters? 69? I think it's got more than 69. I think it's like 70 or 80. It's a lot. I never got the second wave of DLC, I just got the first one, because after the first one, most of my friends stopped playing, and I don't really like Smash enough to play with delay online. I can't do that. I cannot play a fighting game on a system where the default interaction will be mostly wireless players, because the Switch doesn't have a Ethernet cable dock by default. It doesn't have a port. You have to buy a separate Ethernet cable port. Hopefully the next console they do, hopefully it actually has, you know, a port. And hopefully it's not vastly underpowered compared to its contemporaries. I say this knowing full well it will probably still be vastly underpowered, whatever the Switch 2 is. Because, man, games right now are having a really hard time on Switch. Like, I know Eiyuden is apparently just kind of a shit show. Great, Matsufuji! Anyways, I think I'll call it there, because my stomach has been growling, like, for the past 30 minutes. And that's my body telling me I need to eat some food. So I will forego a third seed, because we probably won't get a third one. Yeah, sorry, Tina. Sorry, Tina. You missed all the speed runs. The first seed was better. The second one was kind of average for me. Usually it's about like an hour-ish that my seeds go, so the first one was 51 minutes, I think, around there. Anyways, I'm going to raid you all over to Miniature Matthew. He's playing some Helldivers. It's another game I want to play, but I got too much of a backlog. Also, I don't know that my computer would run it well. And this time I'm going to spell his name correctly. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Play Tsukihime. I think I already said that earlier in the stream, but I'm just going to say it again just to make sure the contract is fulfilled. And I will see you all on Thursday for something. I'm not sure what. Probably not Ragnarok. I don't think I'm going to be playing Ragnarok on Thursday. So you don't have to worry about watching me grind for 3 hours. That won't happen. But yeah, have a good one, folks. See you then.